Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Studs. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch where I play a lot of PlateUp and Valorant. I would love if you'd shoot me a follow there and catch me live sometime if you enjoy PlateUp. This week's PlateUp update is so crazy. Not only were there weekly speedrun seeds introduced, which has proven to be a major challenge for me, but the turbo mode is absolutely wild. It involves increasingly very high group numbers, a new card every single day, and extra blueprints at lowered costs. I cannot overstate how difficult it is, and I haven't had any success franchising yet. I've tried and failed several times with different foods, and in today's video you'll see my best attempt yet, which is a duo run with my friend Ark, where our starting food was turkey. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so day 6, we make it to the first decoration round here and decide to go with exclusive for that increased queue patience. And this is where things, like, honestly start to get pretty dicey. Until this point, I've been somehow managing with just the default sink and no scrubbing brush, and it has been absolute hell to try to do dishes. So I'm so excited that we get 2 dishwashers here that we're able to buy because of the increased money. And we automate 1 set of dishes, but we haven't gotten upgraded plates, which is annoying. So we're still working with the 4 sets of plates that you get at the beginning of turbo mode. You do get 2 sets of plate instead of 1, which is nice, but I really needed that 8 stack of plates, I feel like, and dishes become like a major issue here. I think that Ark was doing okay with the cooking of the 3 mains and the sides at this point, but the dishes become an issue. And as you can see, we would have lost here if we hadn't decided to bring an extra life with us. So day 6 was definitely the first major hurdle. The increased splash zone is also starting to become a serious issue. There is mess freaking everywhere in my serving area, so this was definitely a dicey time in this run. So heading into day 7, we decide to copy the rug that we got during the decoration round because we know we're going to need a lot to cover up the splash zone areas, and we decide to go with relaxed atmosphere for a similar reason in that we have the rugs ready to go to cover up additional mess here. We also don't want to add in dessert as a 3rd course. I think that people sitting at the tables for that long will end up being a hindrance to us. And I moved the dish automation to the other side of the serving area here on the left side, and we try to set it up some basic dish automation to at least help me get the dishes off of the plates earlier, off of the tables earlier, so, and into the dishwasher eventually, but I do still have to do that manually and obviously turn on the dishwasher manually. So it's not total dish automation, but I do think this is something that's going to help me in the coming days quite a bit. As day 8 rolls around here, I am very glad that we ended up not going with a dessert because we are finally able to add a 2nd course here, but one that is really simple. Christmas crackers might be the easiest starter in the game. They're very simple. There's no cleanup, there's no prep involved. They're already prepared. You just put them on the table and you don't have to clear anything afterwards. So I was glad if we were finally going to add a 2nd course that this was the one that we got. And then we're also working on getting the dishes here to go instantly into the dishwasher automatically versus me having to put them in there. And yeah, we got some more dish automation, which makes me really happy. We also added a simple tablecloth last round, which is really nice to have a 4th table there, and you only have to serve 1 dish per table. So both positive things, I think, here. But of course, in true me fashion, I almost instantly mess up the dish automation by throwing a Christmas cracker on a table without taking a table's order. I'm just so used to doing that, like putting down dishes on tables that I know they're going to order ahead of time just in preparation. But when you have grabbers that aren't smart grabbers that'll just take anything, it totally messed up my dish automation here, so we didn't end up getting to use it this day, and time for some more smart grabbers to prevent me from doing this in the future. I was so excited that we actually got to day 10. Like, in my head, this was like the real goal. Like, yes, I wanted to franchise, but until this point, we had never gotten past day 9, and I was like, man, we can totally get to day 10. So to get to day 10 was really exciting. Adding bamboo in is kind of rough. It's not one of my favorite sides because it only makes 3 portions. And we worked for a while, as you saw, to try to set up the bamboo automation, but then we run into this issue where the automation just stops working in the middle of the day. And here we're reaching the end of the day, and we have 1 portion of bamboo left, and like, okay, maybe we can make it through the day without somebody else wanting bamboo, but no, of course somebody else wants bamboo, and there's no way for us to do it. So we're like, you know what, it wasn't us, the automation stopped working, so we're gonna give ourselves another shot at this day. I don't know how people feel about restarts and things like that, but we felt in this case, because it wasn't something we had experienced in practice mode, and we had tested it and it worked for a while that day. It was really weird that the pots stopped filling with bamboo, like with the combiner. They would fill with water, but not with bamboo. So here we are trying to remedy that before we restart day 10. So day 10 part 2 incoming. Man, okay, so on days 11 and 12, we end up adding back-to-back mains, which feels like so much food and wild in retrospect, but we added nut roast on day 11, which is a kind of a tough one to make because it involves chopping up 2 items and combining them and cooking them, which can be automated, but we didn't have all the tools for it. But we had been hoarding some mixers, so we figured we could use that to help cut up onions for both onion rings and the nut roast and the nuts. And then we decided to go with sushi as yet another main here on day 12 because the other option was mandarins, and mandarins I do not like at all. They're tough to automate, and doing manually, it takes a lot of counter space, or you need to have like a garbage can nearby because people can either order 2 slices or 4 slices. So it's just an annoying one to do, and it takes a little while to do manually. So I was like, I don't want another, starter that's gonna take some time to do. The Christmas crackers are just so simple, and people aren't sitting at the table too much longer than if we didn't have any appetizers. So that's why we ended up going with sushi here, but sushi is also really tough. We have the extra mixers there in the top right corner so that we can cut the avocado and the fish, and you have to cook the seaweed as well and cook rice too. So we're like, oh boy, okay, so are we gonna do the rice manually or auto rice? So we're trying to figure out how we're gonna do the sushi most effectively here, but man, 2 tough mains added in a row these back-to-back days. Okay, so as day 13 rolls around, we decide that we're really running out of space and we don't have the tools to automate stuff yet because this is the first day that we've gotten safety hobs. I don't think we've tried to upgrade safety hobs, but ArcStudy had preferred to use the ovens instead of regular hobs to decrease mess as much as possible. So we end up going with individual dining here because pumpkin seeds is such an involved starter, but I think that's probably the nail in the coffin for us. You know, 30 plus groups with 4 tables. In retrospect, I should have tossed the simple dining cloth because I didn't need that anymore and used a regular table in its spot. But I'm not sure how much of a difference it would have made here. So day 13 is where we end. We were really hoping at this point to make it to day 15, but man, a card every day is so rough. We really needed to get safety hubs, I think, earlier to automate fish or any of the items that we had going on there that required them to be made individually. So we definitely learned a lot about how to prioritize in future turbo runs. I think you really have to consider the types of cards that you're choosing, not only in the context of what's going to help you then, but how they will pair with the future cards you get, because you're getting so many additional cards. There are certain cards that, you know, you have to think about what other foods are going to go well with this, how many courses do you want to introduce and how early, what should those courses look like, how many diners are you getting, etc. So there's so much to consider. It really has changed the way I look at the game when I'm in turbo mode now. So I don't know, it's so much fun. It's such a great challenge. I definitely encourage you to try it if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching this fun turbo run. I'm so disappointed we did it franchise, but it was still a great time. Thank you to Arc for duoing with me here. Be sure to catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/studs and on social media at studstTB. Be sure to also subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more PlateUp runs in the future. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. Bye!